over there. The knave is probably here already. We need to hurry.
Are you two the traveler in Paimon? Monsieur Nervalet has left instructions. Please follow me. Though I'm sure he's already explained, this should be a mostly cordial conversation, unlikely to give rise to violence. But it would be most appreciated if you could protect Lady Farina to the best of your abilities.
Oh, so you two are the honored guests Miss Farina mentioned.
Of course! How could they not attend a meeting such as this? I must always have 2 or more guests at my dessert table. Otherwise, the occasion would be too lonely and—
It is my pleasure to make your acquaintance, traveler. I have heard much of your accomplishments.
I've already prepared seats for you. Come, sit beside me.
Perhaps you two are unaware of how Miss Farina and I do things. You see, we actually recently agreed to get together for tea when we had the time. See this? This is a limited type of confectionery that Miss Farina simply adores. There are only 16 slices sold every day. Here, why don't you and Paimon have a taste?
Traveler, what do you think of this cake?
That's good to hear. So what Child said was on the mark after all. You do share a taste in desserts with Farina and I. I wonder how he's doing nowadays. You must have heard, right? He's suddenly gone missing. I'm really worried about his safety, you know. Here's to hoping that he's an excellent swimmer.
Since we're talking about him, I feel like I should add something. His martial—
Oh, so you against ordinary people might call— Coming from you,
but I thought you would be happier to hear the news.
Of course, but it's still a bit of a shame. You see, I would have been far happier had I received this news somewhat earlier. As you well know, a long time has passed since Child disappeared.
Well, in any case, there's no need to worry. We know for sure that Child is still alive.
Oh, and just how do you know that?
Because we found evidence that proved he left the Fortress of Mirapede.
And where did he go after leaving the fortress?
Well...
The Fortress of Mirapede lies deep beneath the waves. Unless he pranced right out of the main gate, he must have had to swim for it. Do you have any proof that he surfaced safely? Ah, that is good news at least. His sister Tonya sent a letter to Fontaine not too long ago. Do you have any idea how he usually writes back to his family? Dear Tonya, your—
All letters tend to follow the same few formats anyway, right? As long...
Hold on.
I suppose this is also a sign of things to come, Miss Farina.
I don't quite understand what you're trying to say.
Have we entered into the next stage of the prophecy?
My thanks to you both. I will take it from here.
Sure you don't need a hand?
Quite sure.
Wow. So, what's your secret, huh? Let me guess. Nah, who knows? Maybe it's just your sense of responsibility.
Sounds about right.
A day may come when the prophecy is fulfilled, and the waters burst forth. But it is not this day! This ancient power could easily obliterate an entire race. A tsunami of fury would unleash endless catastrophe. This sentence is too severe. Forgive me for overruling it.
All right. Seems like the
Let me guess. We're safe for now.
Indeed. But only for now.
I win this bet. You owe me a present.
Very well. It was indeed just as you said.
You made a bet?
We made a bet on the size of your entourage. Cloran thought you wouldn't come down by yourself.
I figured you would have at least brought a few people along for appearance's sake. It appears I underestimated just how confidential the mission was.
Shouldn't you have gotten used to confidential missions by now? That's just how the courts operate.
So what gift must the loser give? Tea?
He already has tons of tea in his office. I'm thinking about a set of legal codices.
That wouldn't happen to be a dig at my lack.
Well, I'm sure His Grace doesn't consider the fortress to be outside the law.
I was under the impression the residents of a place like this would be uninterested in the legal codices.
That was obviously a joke. Anyway, you've still got some unfinished business to attend to in the overworld, correct?
No need to stay here if you have a pressing matter. We all know you can't leave Palais Mermonia for long.
Thank you. I hope everything went smoothly with the Fatui Harbinger.
I must say, we've spent long enough playing house. Miss Farina, as the Hydro Archon, I am sure you understand the exact meaning of the phenomenon we just witnessed. Or should I say, that's what I originally thought. But looking at your expression, was I wrong? And you haven't a clue?
What are you trying to say?
At this point, I don't think yet. Here, the prophecies hanging above our... But you...
You're wrong.
I am not alone. Oh, great.
I have my ways, and I've been working on them for all this time. Even Fontaine will.
Then I ask you, Miss... I see. As a god, the proof of your labor always lies beyond prying mortal eyes. Allow me to be so bold as to ask another way. Would it be possible for... Oh, that look in your eye.
The emergency response plan is...
Then allow me to jog your memory. And what do you plan to do with the massive amount...
The oratories?
So you also have no idea. If I'm not mistaken, someone's using it to prepare for something. But unfortunately, it would seem that someone is not you, Miss Farina. I first caught wind of this when Linny tried to investigate the oratrice in the Opera House. You see, even just getting close to the core contaminated him with an extremely large amount of indemnitium. But even if that had nothing to do with you, then what could you possibly be working on, oh great Hydro Archon? Oh, right. I almost forgot. Udex Neuvillette is not at the tea party with us today. Miss Farina, I suppose you must have ordered him away to take care of some troublesome business.
Yes, that's exactly right. Please keep it a secret for me.
Of course I will. Although, I must say, Miss Farina, you seem quite insecure without the Udex by your side. Oh, very well. Let's stop that conversation here. There are still a few slices of cake left. Traveler, I heard that you were recently... You too.
Thank you. Paimon will take you up on... Oh, Paimon.
You're welcome. It is getting late.
Very well. We'll end it here.
Mind seeing me off, Traveler? We could use the opportunity to discuss Child before I must be on my way.
Paimon's coming too!
I'm glad that you were willing to come with me. Of course, Child was just an excuse. I have no interest in your dealings with him.
That's what Paimon thought!
You lent your aid to the That was all. Formal topics should be discussed in formal settings, and informal topics in informal settings. I know you just returned from the fortress of Meripede. Relax. I have no intention of trying to get anything out of you. Linny, Lynette, and Fremine are still there, and I trust their judgment and abilities.
They've all been working very hard and have always done all they can to fight back against anyone who tried to stop them, especially Linny.
You mean Wriothesley. He's a tricky one to deal with. It's unfortunate that Linny's so eager to prove himself that he can't learn to rely on others, including me. By the way, and you can just consider this a bit of idle gossip, but what's your impression of Farina? You are outside of our disputes, and the freest person in all of Fontaine, able to move around most easily. Allow me to share my perspective with you.
And that's everything that happened during the trial. Master Child was declared guilty and immediately transported to the Fortress of Meropide.
Didn't he say he was coming here on vacation? Does he not feel an ounce of shame for all the trouble he has caused? Forget it. He did give us an opportunity. I will be meeting someone shortly.
Do you require help with any preparations?
No need. I will take care of it myself. I need to meet with Farina, the Hydro Archon. She is at the heart of Fontaine. But what's fascinating about her is that she often seems more like a celebrity than a working Archon.
Oh? Come over here, you little critter, you! You dare to run from me? Stop right this instant!
My goal is just to discover the location of the Gnosis. But I didn't expect the chance to approach Farina to be handed to me on a silver platter. Anything left unguarded is usually just bait. It's just as I guessed in the second. In fact, this Archon doesn't seem like a god at all. And
Who are you? And what are you trying to do? Please don't kill me! I'm begging you, please!
the fear in her pupils is genuine, so perhaps she's not bait after all. Either way, targeting her has lost all meaning. I left the scene with ease. Nobody came looking for me, and nobody could serve as a witness to my near assassination of Focalor. I suspect even Farina dares not mention this incident to anyone. Not long after, my informants confirmed what I had guessed. After returning to her quarters, Farina quietly cried alone. She was so scared that she could not sleep that night, nor could she even bring herself to eat her cake. There's no doubt that there's something wrong with her. I began to entertain the possibility that she is not the true Hydro Archon. Perhaps Iudex Neuvillette is actually the genuine article. I have to find the Gnosis. If the Neuvillette hypothesis is correct, he is probably in possession of it. Alternatively, it might have been hidden in a place that's hard for ordinary people to access.
Yes, Father.
My dear children, please speak.
News from the Fortress of Meropide. Master Child has gone missing. On top of that, the contacts and guards we bribed at the fortress have all gone quiet as well.
Probably the handiwork of that Wriothesley.
I'm afraid so.
This is a good opportunity. The value of a Harbinger is much higher than most would imagine. We now have an excuse to exert diplomatic pressure on the Fontaine authorities. Set up a meeting for me. I would like to meet the Hydro Archon and Iudex. Oh, and I have an additional mission for you three.
Yes, Father.
Tartaglia's disappearance was not a part of my plan, but I can use it. The initiative. You should know the rest. Lenny's group is quite close to you.
You attacked the Hydro Archon?
It wouldn't mean anything, even if you shouted it from the rooftops. After all,
Alright then.
I've now had 2 chances to. I am a servant of Her Majesty the Tsaritsa. Over my years of service, I've learned how a real Archon conducts and carries themselves. Whether Iudex Neuvillette or Farina, neither fits the bill. It's hard to imagine either of them as the Archon. Of course, that is all just how I feel. Gut feelings often do not require justification. It is, however, quite amusing to me that after all my years working in intelligence gathering, I've come to realize I am at a complete loss regarding the identity of the god of the land of my birth. Don't you think, Fontaine, ultimately though, you don't need to commit to anything right now, of course. I have a feeling that the situation will continue to evolve, and as your name is often connected with noble deeds, I'm sure we will work together someday. He certainly returned quickly. You must want to catch up with each other, so I'll leave you to him.
Neverlet, is it...
For now, yes. But this issue will prove quite thorny in the long term. I'm concerned that sooner or later the prophesized events will occur. Thank you for protecting Farina. To put it simply, I used my power to force back the primordial sea and reseal the sluice gate. So as expected, the knave has turned up the pressure on Farina. She's trying to feel her out, though I'm still unsure as to her motives. Permission granted.
Whoa. You...
If by the phrase, you guys, I believe so. And now, another catastrophe will soon be upon us.
Huh?
You may be
Oh? And what are you thinking? The dragon of... Huh?
Please do not be so surprised. Farina?
Neverlet! Neverlet, are you listening?
My apologies.
We were just guessing randomly. We didn't guess right, did we? You're not actually the dragon sovereign of water, right? Well, if you don't want to confirm or deny...
You guessed correctly.
Right. There's...
Please, go.
Well, if... Then since Fontaine's prophecy...
None of the currently living dragon sovereigns in the world. They say that when the...
There are 7 elemental archons and 7 matching dragon sovereigns.
The dragon sovereign of water who lived through that era perished a long time ago. As their successor, I know far less of that part of our ancient history. In any case, I believe I will not be able to do much, unless the Archon... Given the status quo, however...
Oh, so...
I still have some urgent matters to attend.
Please go right ahead. We'll see you another time.
Take care.
doing all right?
We're fine.
A few people oh, of course. How did Nerva... Miss sure, Nerva... I ran into the box. If you're not... Just let me know if you get a craving for any particular... I'd like to take the opportunity to spend some more time...
You guys are back?
You guys...
And here...
all right, there's...
Hey, it wasn't just...
I was also whenever he'd say that.
Hey, there's...
These two. They sure are a lot warmer and friendlier than when Paimon first met them.
Oh, well, if you say so. I'll be watching you to make sure you finish every last bite.
earlier.
Yeah, I was working on something, so...
That's no excuse for... Huh?
Junior, Lurvine, we're back!
Hello there. It's been quite the mess here recently.
And you? Are you
Yep.
It can be a bit annoying when there are lots of people in the infirmary.
I mean, the infirmary does...
Oh, yeah?
You two really are...
Not at all!
Now guess, what suit will this next card be?
Well, look who it is.
Traveler, Paimon.
Hello, everyone.
Looks like you're recovering nicely from it, eh?
Thanks to everyone's support. Oh, right. I managed to work up the courage to thank...
Whoa, how did...
She didn't want to stress you.
Yeah.
Okay, but check...
You meant father? Did she say...
She said a few things that were...
Her attitude towards you is even better than... You should believe her.
Father...
Oh, Paimon just remembered...
Hey!
Are you going...
Looks like it.
Excellent. I will host a tea party.
For real?
Another implies like, well, next time.
Do my eyes deceive me, or did I just see two inmates come back after making it to the surface? Some strange winds blowing of late.
We wanted to see how the fortress is doing. Is it...
We're fine, for the most part. Neuvillette came down and took care of the worst of it.
If that's the case, why don't you just ask him to stay here?
Oh, yeah, what a brilliant plan. Let's go convince the Udex himself to exchange the Courts of Fontaine for a puddle of water in the middle of nowhere. He came here in a hurry and left.
He sure sounds...
Miss Cloran has left as well.
Were the gifts milk?
Nervalette got the milkshake.
Those are...
Well, it's Nervalette's own fault for making... Oh, and I have some...
Are these from Sijuin too?
Nope, they're from yours. You've already wrapped up your work at the fortress.
For real? Then we could stay here for...
You may access the cafeteria for free.
Hooray!
Just remember to come complete your paperwork once it's time for your release.
We're back in our cell again. We're no longer prisoners, though, so it really doesn't feel the same. Huh? How did you know? Hey, it's like... There are so many bad things in the world. You're counting Paimon today? Then let's ask Catherine. The last time we fell asleep here, we woke up to... We should be safe now. Alright then. Good night to you, Traveler. Now for a little rest after breakfast. This is the Wait a sec. Isn't something important supposed to happen today? Oh, today's our big day! We're supposed to leave the Fortress of Mirapede!
Let's come up with some fun activities.
Please, sign here.
It's been so long since we've been to the surface. Huh?
What's happening? I'm fine, thanks. But I want...
Let's go ask the Duke.
Ah, good to see you two. Is there something you wish to see me about?
Yeah, what was with that earthquake just...
Ah, that. The tremor didn't originate from the seafloor. In fact, it seems it came from the surface. Over the years of serving as the warden here, I have developed a sense for distinguishing between what occurs on the surface and what occurs underwater. Besides, the seal that Monsieur Neuvillette set in place won't fail so easily.
So the fortress...
If you recall our last incident, if there really were a problem, there would be crowds of inmates in a panic right now.
Huh, you've got a point. Okay, seems we need to get back up to the surface and ask about what happened. By the way, do you know what day it is today?
I believe today is this month's pipe cleaning day.
Wait, seriously?
Ah, yes. Have you completed your release?
Yep. It's you two. That's right. Today is our last day in prison. But, oh yeah.
Then be sure.
If you've signed the release papers, then you're free to go. The guards will escort you out.
You're not going to see us off?
I knew you.
Well, you actually...
Ah, so you...
After being down here for so long, I imagine...
Yeah, don't worry, we'll come back.
I hope you won't be here as convicts the next time I see you.
We'll do our best to stay out of trouble. Well, it seems our work in the Fortress of Merivine is finished. That's the end of another chapter in our journey. And since Neuvillette was the one who asked us to come here, we should probably go report to him now. Next up, the Palais Mermonia.
You're going to see Monsieur Neuvillette? Please pass on our kind regards.
I'm sure just your regards will do, no?
I believe it would be the polite thing to do.
You're right. I've heard the Palais has been terribly busy these days. Tell him that I hope he hasn't been overwhelmed by the recent string of troubles.
Water jet! Fracture! Confess! Dodge this! Don't get frostbite. Don't push your luck. Water jet!
That's cheating!
Freeze! Truth hurts! Negla! Fracture! Bring it on! Cool it! This moment will be frozen in time. Dodge this!
No escape!
The truth will come out. Wipe out!
Hey, get him!
What's the hurry? Fascinating. Counter jet! Oh, so sorry. Don't push your luck. Cool it. Go! Go! Confess! Freeze!
No one escapes my sights!
What's the... Don't get frostbite. What's the hurry? Water jet! Fracture! Cool it!
No escape!
Bring it on! Get moving! Freeze! Oh, so sorry. What's the hurry?